Are you not ashamed of yourself? Everybody in this village are humans, but you choose to be a watermelon.
Sit with me. Let me tell you about a girl with a watermelon head. There was a village called Kitala, tucked between a slow brown river and a line of hills that hummed when the wind passed through dry grass. Nights were never fully quiet there. Goats shuffled. Crickets argued. Palm leaves whispered secrets nobody could quite hear. Kitala survived on famine, maize, pepper, cassava. But what made the village proud, chest out proud, was watermelon. Kitala watermelons were famous, big, striped, sweet enough to make strangers close their eyes when they tasted them. Traders traveled dusty roads just to load carts with them. Women bragged about them. Children stole slices and ran. Men argued about prices like it was politics. But there was one thing Kitala did not celebrate easily: girls who did not fit the village idea of beautiful. Her name was Lami, 21 years old, tall like a young Iroko tree, shoulders strong from carrying baskets, palms rough, eyes quiet and careful. The kind of eyes that always looked like they were asking permission before entering a room. Lami farmed watermelons. She woke before the sky turned gray. She hummed while watering. She talked to the soil, not joking, full conversations. Here's what I mean. She would kneel, press her fingers into the earth and say, "You and I, we go make something good today, Abi." And somehow things grew. Her watermelon patch was always ahead of season. Vines thick, leaves wide, fruit heavy and round. Even during dry weeks when other farms struggled, Lami's field stayed green. Elders said her hands carried blessing. But Lami herself, people did not look long. Her nose was broad, her teeth crowded, her skin dark and uneven from years in the sun. She did not turn heads, so most people turned away. When villagers passed her farm, they stopped to admire the fruit. "Ah, see size!" they'd shout. "This one fit cool a whole family." They tapped the melons, weighed them in their palms, praised the shine. They never asked how Lami was. At the market, buyers squeezed the watermelons loudly, then spoke to her like she was background noise. Young men greeted her produce, not her face. "Mama Melon," they called. "Queen of water." Never just Lami. She laughed along. What else could she do? But every laugh left a small scratch inside her chest. At first, the jokes were light. "Lami, you love watermelon too much. One day your head go turn around like it." She smiled, forced. "It's fine," she told herself. Then the jokes grew teeth. "If watermelon get voice, na your own it go be. Check well, oh, maybe she don't dey ripen already." Laughter, louder each time. Children began following her sometimes. "Melon woman! Melon woman!" they sang, clapping off rhythm. She started walking faster in the evenings, eyes down, wrapper pulled tighter around her shoulders. Inside her hut at night, she buried her face in her mat and whispered, "God, wetin wrong with me?" One evening after a long market day, after hours of hearing her fruit praised and her body compared to it, Lami went back to her farm. The moon was full, the vines silver in the light. She knelt between the rows, tears dropping onto dusty leaves. "They love you," she told the watermelon softly. "They smile when they see you. They get happy." Her throat tightened. "I want that too." The wind moved through the vines, soft, slow, listening. "If becoming a watermelon will make them love me," she whispered, voice breaking, "then let me become one." The night went very still, too still. Lami woke before dawn with a strange weight pulling her neck forward. She tried to sit up and nearly tipped over. Her balance felt wrong. She reached up to rub sleep from her face. Her fingers touched smooth, cool skin, not her skin. Thick, hard, curved. She froze. She stumbled to the water pot and looked inside. A round green watermelon stared back. Dark stripes, shiny surface, sitting where her face should be. Her body was hers, her arms, her legs, but her head was a watermelon. She screamed. The sound came out human, high, shaking. She grabbed a cloth and wrapped it tight around her head, hands trembling, then ran outside, hoping maybe it was still dark enough nobody would see. The first person she met was a small boy carrying firewood. He squinted at her, confused. The cloth slipped. He stared, then burst into laughter so loud he dropped the wood. "Melon head! Melon head!" Others came running. Curious, excited, the cloth fell completely. Silence hit first, then laughter rolled through the air like thunder. Women bent over, men slapped their thighs, children jumped and pointed. "Ah, wish don't come true." She finally become wetting she. Love. Lami stood shaking, heat flooding her body, even though her head felt cold and heavy. Hands reached out. People tapped her head like they were checking fruit at the market. Is it sweet inside? Market price or family discount? Someone poured water on her head to keep it fresh. She begged them to stop, but watermelons do not cry in Kitala, so they laughed harder. Lami ran, past her farm, past the well, into the bush path behind the village. Laughter followed her like echo. She collapsed under a wide tree, chest heaving. Her wish had been answered, and it felt like a curse. Time passed. She did not know how long. The bush smelled of damp leaves and old earth. Birds hopped nearby, confused by the strange creature breathing at their roots. She pushed herself up slowly. Her body still walked, but the weight of the melon head dragged her forward. She tried to wipe tears and only touched smooth skin. She screamed again. This time only the trees heard. She tore strips from her wrapper and tied them around her head, layer over layer. She did not want eyes on her. She did not want laughter. She crept back toward the village, using back paths, moving behind huts, hiding like a thief in her own home. But villages wake early, and villages see everything. A woman carrying a basket of pepper spotted her. "Ah!" she shouted. "Come and see." Crowds gathered fast. They always did when something strange appeared. They pulled at her cloth. The watermelon head showed again. The laughter came back sharper than before. Better than moonlight stories. Masquerade without festival. Hands grabbed her shoulders. "Turn small. Make we see I'm well." Her knees gave way. From that day, Lami could not move freely. Wherever she went, people followed. If she fetched water, they gathered. If she tried to weed a farm, they joked. If she sat quietly, they poked. Nicknames replaced her name. Madam Melon, Fruit Spirit, Farm Ghost. At night, she cried silently, afraid even her tears would entertain them. Some people acted kind, but their kindness had hooks. They brought salt, they brought pepper. "Cook your head, make we chop." They laughed. Others prayed loudly near her, just to see what would happen. Even pity came with amusement. Lami realized something heavy. Being laughed at hurts more than being ignored. One evening, she returned to her watermelon field. The vines she once loved now felt like strangers. Perfect fruit hung everywhere. People came, not to buy, but to watch her stand among them. She fit here now. Plant, hair, join. She left the farm that night. Eating became a problem. How does someone with a watermelon head eat? People watched her struggle and laughed until they held their sides. She grew weak. Her body human. Her dignity gone. One night, alone in an empty hut near the edge of Kitala, Lami spoke into the darkness. "I didn't ask for mockery," she whispered. "I just wanted love." Her melon head tilted forward. If this is love, I don't want it. Wind moved outside. The night stayed silent. Slowly, she stopped correcting people, stopped hiding, stopped hoping. She began to believe she deserved this. Lami, the girl, faded. Only the watermelon remained. At first, she still reacted when they called. "Melon woman!" She turned. Later, she stopped turning, not because it stopped hurting, but because it no longer felt like they were calling her. It felt like they were calling something else, something already gone. The village did what villages do with strange things. It found a use. Parents threatened stubborn children. "I go carry you, go meet melon woman." Young men dragged her to gatherings. "Stand here, let them see." Visitors came. "She's real?" They touched her head and dropped coins at her feet. Not help, entertainment. They dressed her in bright cloth during festivals, painted her arms, placed her in the square like decoration. Songs were made. She loved melon. Now she be melon. Drums beat. People laughed until they cried. Lami stood still. Her mind floated far away from her body. The pain was too big to stay inside. She stopped crying. Crying requires belief that someone cares. Her watermelon head began to soften slightly, not from lack of water, from something deeper. Hopelessness. She forgot her own face. One evening, an old woman came to her quietly. No laughter, no crowd. She touched Lami's arm gently. "My daughter," she said. Lami did not answer. "They took your shape," the woman said softly, "but you gave them your worth." Something moved inside Lami. Small, weak. People mocked the old woman too. "Leave her. She likes it." The woman walked away, shaking her head. Lami slept on bare ground that night. Dreamless. In the morning, she saw a reflection in a puddle. Round green head. Human body. She did not scream. She whispered, "This is me." That was the most dangerous moment. That night, the soil beneath her felt loose, soft, like it wanted to hold her. Roots brushed her fingers. "Stay," the earth seemed to say. "You belong." She did not fight when the ground slowly closed around her legs. Village noise faded. Laughter became echo. Her last feeling was relief. If she disappeared, maybe the pain would end. Darkness, then awareness. Slow, heavy. She could not move. Cool earth pressed around her like a blanket. She understood. She was buried, not violently, gently, like a seed. There was no laughter here, only her breathing and the slow heartbeat of the soil. For the first time since her change, Lami felt safe. Images filled the darkness. Herself as a child, running barefoot, laughing, being called Lami with warmth. Then the first joke, the first time she believed it, the slow shrinking inside. A voice rose from the earth. Calm, not loud. "Why did you abandon yourself?" Her throat tightened. "I wanted love," she whispered. "Love does not grow where self-hatred is planted," the voice said. She saw it clearly. She had asked to become what they loved, and she did, but she never asked to be valued. They loved the watermelon because it fed them, the voice continued. They mocked you because you forgot you were more. Tears slid down her green skin into the soil. "Do you still want their laughter?" She shook her head. "No, I want myself back." The soil loosened. Pressure lifted. She felt her neck again, light, free. She touched her face, skin. She gasped. "When you wake, will you remember?" the voice asked. "Yes," she said, without hesitation. Lami woke up with a shout, sitting straight up in her hut. Hands flew to her head, skin warm, human. Sunlight slipped through the wall cracks. Roosters crowed outside. Women talked on the path. Life moved on. She stood slowly and walked to a small mirror she had not used in years. She looked fully. Not quickly, not with criticism. Wide nose, crooked teeth, tired eyes, and strength. A woman who fed a village. Her chest trembled. Then she smiled. A real one. I am enough, she said. Later that morning, she walked to her farm. The watermelons hung heavy and bright. People passed. Mama Melon, she paused, smiled gently. My name is Lami. Some laughed awkwardly. Some nodded. She kept working, back straight, voice steady, laughing when she felt like it, not when they expected it. Slowly, things shifted. Not everyone changed, but enough. Respect grew like something planted quietly. Sometimes at night, she remembered the watermelon head, not with fear, with gratitude. Here's the truth. Wishing to become what people clap for can cost you yourself. Never trade your identity for acceptance. The world may love what you produce, but you must love who you are. Under the same sun, in the same village, Lami kept farming watermelons, but she grew something else too. Self-worth. And this time it stayed. If this story touched you even a little, share it with someone who needs the reminder. Like it. Pass it on. Stories heal quietly. And please remember this. Love yourself the way you wish the world would.